Hi there Booktube, it's Eleanor here, and today I'm going to be doing my Booktuber Recommends first review. I'm going to try and do reviews for all of the books for my Booktuber Recommends, and the first one that I decided to read this month was The Prestige by Christopher Priest. This was recommended from Estelle at Ordinenta, and I was excited to give it a go. I went into this book not sure if it was going to be for me. I think I've seen the film a long time ago, but I don't remember anything, I hadn't remembered anything that had happened in the book. So I wasn't worried about that side of it. But I don't know why, it didn't feel like a book that I was sure I was going to enjoy. It wasn't one that I instantly thought, yeah, I'm going to really enjoy that. It was one set in sort of Victorian times, which really isn't my type of scene normally. I'm not really into that type of era book. Yeah, I think it tends to be a bit of a misconception for me that any sort of adult novel set in the Victorian era I'm not going to enjoy, and it's such a shame because it means that often I don't pick up those books, and as this has proved, that's not always the case. I really enjoyed this. The book starts and we meet a journalist, and he has been given this story where he has to go and speak to someone who has information for a story. It turns out that they know quite a lot about his family history, and we start to learn about his family, the past, and an old family feud with another family. This story is interesting because we have the present day, we also then have the past written from both one of the two magicians in this story, and then from the other magician's perspective. So as with all stories, there's two sides, and so we read one, we think we know what's going on, we then read the other one, and then we start to realise that we didn't know the full story, and when we know the full story, we can start to make our own decisions about things, and I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed the fact that it was magicians and the magic aspect in terms of learning tricks and how they were performed. I really enjoyed that, and I really enjoyed learning more about those two characters. And I really did feel during the time reading this that I could hear the narrators in my head. The Christopher Priest has really written these in a way that you can hear the narrator and they feel real to you, and I really appreciated that. I gave this book 4 stars, and the reason I didn't give it 5 was because although I enjoyed most of this book, I wasn't really satisfied with the last third. I wasn't satisfied with the ending. I didn't really like the take on the ending. It just felt a little bit too magical to me, and I'm not 100% sure that I felt it wrapped up properly for me. So that was the reason I didn't feel I could give it 5. But the rest of the story really surprised me. It was a easy to read story. It wasn't hard to read. And when I say easy reading, I don't mean, oh, it's simple and the story's not very complex. What I mean by easy reading when I say it is that I didn't find the language difficult to get into. So I find Charles Dickens and often Shakespeare, the language is harder, and I have to think about it, the language itself, in order to understand the story. Whereas this was easy to read, the language was easy to read, and it drew you into the story really quickly. So this was 4 stars for me. Thank you, Estelle, for recommending it. I'm so pleased that I gave it a go and enjoyed it so much. It's really opened my eyes to possibly some other stories set in Victorian times, or books that I may not have picked up that I might now enjoy. So big tick for the first book on my Booktuber Recommends video. So thank you for that, and thank you for watching, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now, Booktube.